can't let them see what's going on within, what's going on inside me. If they see what I feel on the inside, they'll run. That's part of a statement that I've shared many, many, many times. And it wasn't until recently that I realized, had the awareness, and how that was tied to me being afraid of my own shadow, being afraid of the dark within me. And I'm going to dive right into that story, going deeper into the detail right after this. Don't go nowhere. All right, welcome back. I'm Tony Fonte, and I help people heal using laughter to alchemize trauma, wounds, old stories, so they can remember who they truly are, and manifest the life of their dreams on their terms by being themselves. Boom. All right, so the story, what I started off with is, if they see what's going on within me, if they see how I feel on the inside, if they see all my insecurities, if they see all this pain, all this trauma, all these wounds, if they see see all this worthlessness within me, this undeservingness that I feel on the inside, seeking all this validation, all this approval, all this acceptance, all this love outside of me because I feel this way. If they see it, they will run. They will reject me. And I didn't become aware of this. Like, I've used this many, many, many times. But when I was talking and explaining how I used to use laughter as a defense mechanism. One, I used it as a defense mechanism because I didn't want people getting close to me. I made everything a freaking joke. I was a class clown. I didn't want people to get too close because if they saw, again, they would run. I can't let them see this. They can only see the light side of me. They can't see the darkness within. So I used laughter as a defense mechanism versus what I use it for now, what it's actually intended for. I use it to alchemize and transmute pain, trauma, and wounds. This is how I help my clients. Part of how I help my clients is helping them transmute, where it's not so damn heavy. The healing process is not so damn heavy. I'm still figuring it out for myself. And that was an awareness for me as well. But that's what I use. I use laughter so it's not so heavy as we're going through this awakening journey, as we're letting go of the old and coming back home to ourselves, remembering who we are, and then manifesting life on our terms, the way that we want, how we dream, based off who we are, and being ourselves and expressing ourselves. I use laughter to alchemize, laughter alchemy. But I didn't. I would use it to hide my stress, to play off when I was hurt, instead of feeling and expressing all of that, because I was afraid of being rejected. Because as a kid, I felt rejected by my dad mainly, but my mom sometimes too. And I've learned it has nothing to do with them, and nothing to do with actually how they felt had nothing to do with me. But as a kid, we don't know that. We just see love being taken away. So then we abandon ourselves. We reject ourselves because we fear rejection. And I also wanted to use laughter to help other people because I didn't want them to feel the way that I felt. If I can make other people laugh, bring them joy, bring them just lightness, then I could feel good about myself. Then they wouldn't feel the way that I feel. So as I was going recently through a lot of inner turmoil and inner child wound, and I was having some relationship stuff going on, and it triggered a lot of this old trauma, which I've done so much work on, but here we are going in deeper and deeper and deeper. And if you ever tell yourself as you're going through this journey, especially if you've been doing this for a little bit, you're like, man, I thought I fucking dealt with this. Man, it's always going to be layers until we actually let go. But here I am going through this relationship struggle, and I'm distancing myself, not like pushing them away, but I was trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. And I didn't know it. I mean, I was going through weeks. It lasted actually it lasted quite a bit, but it lasted, the main part lasted a whole month of me trying to figure out what was going on, me struggling, me challenging, me being up in my head. And it was all this other stuff, and I kept hearing myself say, but it didn't click. It didn't click until I said these things. I was like, I gotta hurry up and get through this. I gotta hurry up and get through this. I can't be in my shadow that long, because if I do, she'll freaking run, she'll leave, she'll break up. And ultimately that's what happened. Manifested that, and that's okay. I learned the lessons. I'm learning the lessons. And that's okay. But it hit me. Oh my gosh. And these were layers and layers of awarenesses that were tied to the same thing that just kept going deeper as I journaled, as I went into doing the inner work, as I'm sitting still, as I'm being at peace and just feeling whatever's going on. It became more and more aware of this. I can't stay in my shadow too long. I was afraid of my shadow. I had to heal. And before the layer was, I became more aware. It's like, I got to heal so I feel worthy enough, so I feel good enough. But the thing was, what's really going on is I was afraid of my shadow, but here's the thing. I was rejecting that part of me. So therefore, I was manifesting people rejecting that part of me, and they really probably weren't really rejecting that part of me. But it was me rejecting me. In order to be whole and complete, we have to accept the dark, the shadow of us, and the light. We're not always going to be in the light. But here I am afraid of my shadow because I'm afraid of being rejected. And it wasn't until I was on on a call with my coach and I said this to the group. I said it again. And right after I got done, it hit me. I was like, oh my God. I've been manifesting people running from me. Because I felt this rejection of shadow. I felt this fear of my own shadow. I can only be in the light. I can only be funny, happy, having fun, in the flow with everything, Tony. And if I do go in my shadow, if I do go into some shit, to a shit show, well then, I can only be there for so long. I have to hurry up and heal it. I had to be in that masculine and try to force the fucking healing. Which doesn't ever work really. But I had to force the healing because I couldn't. Because I was going to lose people. I was going to lose my girlfriend. I was going to lose my friends. I was going to lose family members. And my life has played out from that place. Until this recent awareness. Until I finally accepted my shadow for what it is, and realize that the right people are going to accept all of me. They're not going to run. They're not going to push me away. They're going to stay. It may trigger them because it's just a mirror, but they're going to support me. They're going to cheer me on. And I don't have to feel weak because I'm in my shadow too long. I don't have to beat myself up and have this guilt and shame because I didn't show up for my partner or friends or family in the best way possible. And being pissed because I was in my fucking shadow. I had this shadow. It's like I wanted to heal, be perfectly fucking healed, to be in a relationship, to be in business, to be a friend, to have a certain amount of money. Only when we fully accept all of us, all parts of us, will we be and feel whole, and will others accept all of us. And I had to learn through going through that. That was the lesson. That's the way I decided to learn. And probably because I meant to share it with you and teach it. Accept your shadow. Don't be afraid of your shadow. Our shadow's here to guide us further into the light, guide us to further evolution and expansion and ascension and awakening. We don't have to force the healing. We just be with it. And I'm having this awareness right now that part of why it lasted so long is because I was trying to figure it out mentally so that I could heal it, so I can get back to peace and have peace in my relationship. And that's not how it works. The people who really love us, the people who are meant to stay, will stay. They'll support us. They'll be there for us when we're in our shadow. It's not all honky-dory when we're just in our light. The truth is, who's going to be there when we're in our darkness? Who's going to lean in more when we need it most? The right people will be there no matter what, and you will be there for your person, your people. Because that's the magic and the beauty of accepting an unconditional love. Even when it triggers you, you can be there. You can also have communication on that. I don't no longer need to be afraid of my shadow. I don't need to try to force the healing, because healing is constant. Healing is always going to be until I take my last breath physically. I can accept the light and the dark, again, because the dark leads to the light. It allows us to raise our vibration even more as we sit and feel and heal. We feel the emotions, we express our emotions, we communicate effectively, which is something I have a lot of work to do as well. Whew. That's another amazing lesson I had from all this. Accept your shadow. Where are you not accepting your shadow? Where are you rejecting your shadow and abandoning yourself? Or trying to force healing so you can get back to the light, get back to the peace, and make sure that everything in the outside world is hunky-dory. So I don't think I've used that word in forever, but okay, hunky-dory, great, awesome. And not worry about what other people are thinking, worrying about how other people are going to react to you, because that's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is you, and is to feel and be present, and to move through and flow through your feelings, your emotions, the traumas, the wounds, the conditioning. That is the shadow. That's the shadow work. That you can come out stronger, faster, and not be so much in your head, and really feel the intuition and feel through everything to get a greater perspective of where you are and who you are. And that's the awakening journey that constantly moves and evolves as you move and evolve. I'd love to hear from you. What were your thoughts on this? And again, I want you to answer those questions. Where are you rejecting your shadow? Where are you afraid of your own shadow and trying to force yourself to stay in the light constantly by being positive or whatever it is that you're using to stay in that light, because you don't want other people to see what's really going on, to be deeply vulnerable and share your insecurities, share your fears, share what's going on. I've been able to share these stories like this. I used to be so freaking vulnerable. I have been so vulnerable, but as deeper I went, it was scary for me, especially in an intimate relationship. It was super scary for me because of this. Because I was afraid of my shadow. Well, if I'm afraid of it, I'm rejecting it, they're going to reject it too. And ultimately, I manifest that. Now, I get to heal and walk through that and allow someone in that won't push away, won't run, won't leave. They'll lean in. Where are you rejecting your shadow? Where are you afraid of your shadow? I'd love to hear from you below. If you'd like to grab a personal session, whether it's a one-on-one Reiki session, whether it's an intuitive channeling, whether it's a combined session and spiritual wisdom to actually help this process of healing, of returning home to who you truly are and manifesting life on your terms and by being yourself, then click one of the links below, or actually just click the link below. I'll have one link and you can pick and choose whatever resonates with you. Hope to see you on the other side. If not, stay tuned for the next episode of the Laughing Through Life show. Love y'all.